Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to what's been buzzing around the NFL lately, there's been a lot of talk about a potential blockbuster move involving none other than Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, that's right. Hutchinson, the rising star edge from the Detroit Lions, might be on the move to the Washington Commanders. And let me tell you, this isn't just some rumor floating around. It's shaping up to be one of the most impactful trades we've seen in a while, especially considering the state of the Commanders' defense and their pursuit of a serious playoff push. The buzz started swirling around after some insiders, including Adam Schefter, hinted that the Lions, sitting at a solid 6-3 but tight on cap space, could be open to trading Hutchinson in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. Now, that's a game-changer right there. Hutchinson, who's already making waves as an All-Pro candidate in 2024, is widely regarded as one of the most promising young pass rushers in the league. His explosiveness, relentless pressure, and ability to sack quarterbacks have made him a cornerstone for Detroit's defense. But with cap constraints looming, the Lions might see this as a smart move to free up some cap space, especially to bolster their offensive line, which is a priority for them right now. Imagine the impact if Hutchinson lands in Washington. The Commanders, currently sitting at 3-7, desperately need a boost on defense. Their pass rush has been somewhat inconsistent, and with a defense giving up an average of 28 points per game, they need a game changer, someone who can turn the tide and create chaos in the backfield. Hutchinson fits that mold perfectly. His stats in 2025 are already impressive: 13 tackles, 5 assists, 18 combined pressures, and 7 sacks. His overall PFF grade for this season is an elite 92, making him one of the top edge players in the league right now. His pressure rate sits at 22%, and he's been a nightmare for offensive lines, generating a lot of disruption. Plus, he's been healthy with no injuries in 9 games, which is crucial considering the physical toll of the position. And just to give a bit more context, Hutchinson's career so far is pretty remarkable. Over his time in the league, he's accumulated over 25 sacks, with a PFF grade averaging 95, and he's been selected as an All-Pro once already. His ability to win against blockers and generate pressure has been a constant problem for offenses, and that's exactly what the Commanders need: more consistency and explosiveness on the line of scrimmage. Plus, his stats against other top-edge players are solid. He's projected to increase Washington's pressure rate by around 25%, which could be the boost they need to turn their season around. Now, let's talk about Detroit's side of things. They're sitting with about $21 million in cap space as of November 2025, but they're looking to clear around $15 million, primarily to bolster their offensive line and address other needs. Trading Hutchinson could be a strategic move to both free up cap space and acquire a high-value pick, something they're certainly considering, especially with the draft coming up. The Lions have been a defensive team with a solid average of just over 22 points allowed per game, but they're prioritizing their secondary and overall roster flexibility. A trade for a first-round pick in 2026 would give them the flexibility to address multiple positions and rebuild their roster with young talent. For Washington, acquiring Hutchinson would be a huge statement. Their defense, ranked 28th in the league at allowing 28 points per game, would get a significant upgrade. Adding a player of Hutchinson's caliber could lead to an increase of over 10 sacks for the team, which would be a massive boost. He's the kind of player who can change the complexion of a game, creating turnovers, forcing fumbles, and making life miserable for quarterbacks. His presence alone would elevate the entire defensive line, making it a true nightmare for opposing offenses. And what about the other side of the ball? Well, with Hutchinson on the edge, the Commanders could see their defense forcing more turnovers, potentially adding around 7 more turnovers over the course of the season, and significantly reducing opponents' offensive efficiency. If they can generate more pressure, they'll force opponents into uncomfortable third-down situations, improving their third down defense from 37.5% to a much more manageable number. That would allow their offense to stay on the field longer, keep the game more balanced, and wear down the opposing defense. The impact on the offense could be just as significant. With Hutchinson demanding attention from double teams or occupying multiple blockers, it creates mismatches for the Commanders' other pass rushers, such as Chase Young or Montez Sweat. Plus, the team's ability to generate QB hits and pressure increases, leading to more sacks, hurried throws, and potential turnovers. For a team struggling to reach the playoffs, this kind of upgrade could be the difference maker, pushing them from a middle-of-the-pack team to legitimate contenders. Looking ahead, the odds for the Commanders to make a deep playoff run would skyrocket. Fox Sports recently pegged their Super Bowl odds at around +600, but with this kind of infusion of talent, those odds could tighten significantly, potentially dropping to +800 or better. Plus, with a projected increase in defensive win probability by around 20%, Hutchinson could be the X factor that elevates Washington into that rarefied air of Super Bowl contenders. The NFC East is tough, no doubt. The Eagles and Cowboys are formidable, but adding a player like Hutchinson could shift the balance of power, especially if he can replicate his 2024-2025 performance and even surpass it. Now, let's consider the historical significance. This isn't just a move to patch a weakness, it's a statement. The Commanders have been building their roster with a focus on youth and potential, and bringing in Hutchinson would send a clear message. They're serious about contending now. His presence would also inspire the entire defense, raising the level of play across the board. For the Lions, trading Hutchinson might be a tough pill to swallow, given how talented and promising he is, but cap management and draft capital are part of the game. They're looking at the bigger picture, and if they receive that first-round pick in 2026, it could set them up for a complete rebuild or to target impact players in the next draft. In the end, a trade like this, if it happens, would be one of the most talked-about moves of the offseason, no doubt. The Commanders, currently in a rebuild mode, could suddenly leap forward with a young, disruptive pass rusher who's already proven he can dominate. Hutchinson's addition would not only improve their immediate playoff chances, but could also set the foundation for a sustained winning era. The NFC East would definitely feel the shakeup, and the entire league would be watching closely to see how this unfolds. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Commanders should pull the trigger on a trade for Hutchinson? Could he be the missing piece that takes them to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're all in this journey together, and every move counts. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, hail to the Commanders.